Hello, party people. Welcome to the latest episode of Sunflower and Nightshade. I'm Caitlin.
And I am Nathan.
It is Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. We hope everyone was able to enjoy the time with their families and get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather that we had here in the wonderful Virginia. Today's episode just kind of talking about some fond Easter memories we've all had. And since
it's been a while since we recorded, so it's good to get back into it. It is a lot of fun. Check out Nightshade Monologues. We're going to start doing different stuff. It was preachy monologues about philosophy and the world, but I had a little bit of fun trying to write a script for it the other day. So we're going to get to see some new stuff there. Yeah. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, Sunflower and Nightshade. Follow us individually. On Facebook, I'm Nathan Stout, and Instagram, Saying Stout, saying like talking.
Follow me on Facebook. I'm Caitlin St. Clair, and on Instagram, let's see. Oh gosh, what is my handle? _K, the number 8, LYN _. So go give us a follow.
But sounds also correct.
Go give us a follow on our Patreon as well if he didn't say Patreon already. Could remember if you had said Patreon.
Yes, I forgot Patreon. Doing some big stuff there. That's actually going to be for the Nightshade Monologues. I'm thinking about making that the full home. Maybe releasing some stuff on the regular podcast page on like Spotify and stuff. But to get the episode, the stories that I'm starting to write, you're going to have to get that on Patreon. It's only $1 a month. That may be a lot for some of us, but there'll probably be some deals. It'll give you something to listen. We are good to go. Today we went for a hike. I don't know if we can actually call it a hike because it was kind of short. Freya we thought she was going to have a heat stroke. Yeah, she did worse than both of us, and she's in way better shape. We had to stop at a little over half a mile.
And she was about to die. However, she was not healing like she was supposed to, so Nathan was about to yank her daggone head off her daggone shoulders.
That is true. She did pull more than I wanted. We have to be careful because she doesn't do well around other people if we're around. Like, we took her to the vet. She was fine with everyone there until we showed up. Then got really angry. So I do have to try to keep her under a tight leash for now until she gets more and more used to people. She's better, but it's still random times. So we are a little bit more cautious.
And this isn't angry that we're around. It is angry that other people are around us.
Well, yeah, she does love us very much.
She does not want other people around us. She says, that's my mommy and daddy. Don't touch them. Don't go near them.
My best friend, shout out Justin Buckner. Sorry, Corey, you didn't come to the house, so you don't get shouted out in this. But he came to the house a couple weeks ago. Freya warmed up to him once she got used to him. We should probably shout out Canine Off Leash Training too, because
she's done amazing
with our dog.
Yeah, we are almost done with our sessions. We will be starting session 7 on Tuesday. We've been working with our trainer, Kristen, and it's been amazing. Freya is a new dog. We have to keep up with the training, but she's completely changed. She would almost eat anybody she saw, whether 2 feet away or 200 feet away. She was ready to throw down. And now, we've been able to take her to PetSmart, Tractor Supply, Lowe's with minimal issue. And that's been something that we wanted to have with her because she didn't have that great of a life before we got her. And so we wanted her to be able to be a puppy, get to do things, not just as a dog, but with other humans. We wanted her to be socialized so we can take her to different things. So she's been doing really well. She still doesn't like men, but as a female, who doesn't? We all got asked, would you rather be trapped in the woods with a man or a bear? I think it was the bear.
She's definitely good. We like to see the progress. I agree with the bear over man situation. I had to change the settings on the monitor because it kept cutting off. Hopefully put it on 2 hours. Hopefully we're not talking for 2 hours.
We can get chatty.
Let's go ahead and get into favorite Easter memory. That was what you had up first, right? By the way, this is Caitlin's first episode as director, writer.
I don't know.
I'm going to say producer too, because why not? Normally I take the reins on what we're going to do. So I was like, how about you do one?
I just typed up in my notes pad an idea, and I just was kind of like, you know what? This sounds kind of cool. So let's roll with it. One of the things I had down was favorite Easter memory, since it is Easter. As a kid and growing up, my favorite memories were before Easter, dyeing Easter eggs with my grandma Tippy and my mom. It was every single year. We would dye at least a dozen eggs, and it was always the most fun. Unfortunately, we can't do that anymore because the price of eggs is expensive. I've heard people are doing marshmallows this year. They actually had a, what is it, Pete's? I think that's the name brand that does the, is that the brand that does the dyeing, the Easter egg dye?
I have no clue.
Whatever that brand is. They did a marshmallow dye instead of Easter eggs. My allergies have me feeling like I'm breathing through a tube.
We did have to cut because I thought I made a lot of background noise on that, and we had to go back and re-edit while we were talking because I didn't want her to lose words we had that she had. So we're back now.
This may be my last will and testament. As I am dying, I feel like I have a block in my nose and I can't breathe. I was snorting Legos, guys. If you didn't know, that was the new cool thing to do, snort Legos. Don't actually do that. Never do that. That'd be stupid.
Okay, so you were talking about dyeing eggs with your grandma Tippy. Is that your favorite Easter memory?
That and Easter egg hunts in my Aunt Joyce's on Easter Sunday. And as I got older, I was able to hide the Easter eggs. That was a lot of fun. Like, finding the Easter eggs was fun, but being able to hide them and put them in places where I wish that I, could have found them as a kid, if that makes sense. Like, where I was like, oh, that would have been a cool place to put it. I put it there. Sometimes the kids couldn't get it. Oops. My fault.
She was hiding the candy for herself.
No, it was not, because I would actually help them. They would say, Caitlin, that one's too high. And I'd say, I got it.
For me personally, of course, Colton play D&D with us now. Being able to be kid with a kid and talk about D&D, it's fantastic. We can just play with the kids, get them back, we're done.
That's what I'm most excited about. I cannot wait to be an aunt, a godmom. I will happily take your children for the day, play with them, be a kid, and I return them home. Happily.
For Sean, you've got a babysitter, Caitlin. Will babysit me and your children. I'll be the fun one. She'll be miserable curmudgeon.
They will always want to go to Auntie Caitlin's house.
Because Uncle Nathan lives there.
Uncle Nathan is a grouch who only wants to take naps. We like to take naps with Uncle Nathan.
I'm the one that plays all the video games. I'm the one that plays the card games. Like, yeah, it would take a little bit of adjusting to learn how to play some of the other games that people play, but like, I'm the one that does that stuff. You're the one that wants to sit around and watch Jim's Real Housewives. Not up to date. These are old shows.
Okay, listen. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I'm getting caught up on that. Because, shout out again to my best friend, she put me on that. She put me on the Real Housewives, and she said I should start with Beverly Hills. I accidentally started with New Jersey. So I started from the beginning. It's not that I'm not watching the current episodes. I didn't know what channel Bravo was on. Bless my parents. I was so sheltered. You think they would have let me watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? No. You think you hate reality TV shows? You ain't seen my father. But Gypsy Sisters is an amazing show. Amazing trash reality television. I admit it is a garbage show, but it is amazing. I can't help that you don't like it. That's not my fault.
I think it's because, like, the only difference in them and the people where I grew up, shout out to my homies from West Virginia, they are gypsies. Like,
okay.
I watched one episode with you and I was like, this sounds like sitting in the holler just listening to everybody talk. It's no different. That's not entertaining. I can just call up Nana or Uncle Dan, be like, hey, what's going up on the mountain? It's just how life is for me. The Real Housewives.
Just like seeing how the other half live. what it would be like to drive a freaking Bentley, what it would be like to live in multi-million-dollar
And
mansions.
be
Yeah,
miserable? They're all miserable.
sometimes, yes. A good percentage of them get divorced from their husbands
Rich men are, a lot of them are jerks.
for the life, but I want to go down Rodeo Drive in California and go shopping at Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada. Like, of course I would. Who the hell wouldn't want to do that?
Me?
Well, of course, because you're a man.
No, it has nothing to do. Their husbands wear the same shit.
Just because you wouldn't doesn't mean that it's not trash reality TV. It's not trash like Gypsy Sisters.
Oh, Gypsy Sisters trash because they're poor.
Yes. And
I don't
because
know.
they
I feel like
fight. It's all equally
people
terrible.
who just caused. I've never watched the Gypsy Sisters except for the little bit that I watched, and it wasn't drama. It was kind of sweet. But what I've seen goes that way with all of them. The Kardashians, the Real Housewives, and that's the reason why I liked Kevin Hart's Real Husbands of Hollywood so much, was because it knew what it was making fun of. I hadn't watched many of the TV shows, but I went back and was watching it with you. I think I used to watch some of Holly. I would zone out on my phone, but it made sense when I was watching. Like, that's why that show was funny, because I do hate this so much. And how much of it is scripted. I don't like the word reality. Just call it WE for women who want to be rich. There's a little bit of violence.
In Gypsy Sisters, I mean,
girls from West Virginia, them girls will whoop your ass. Like,
I know.
well, I don't mess with my aunts and my mama. Like, I'm more afraid than the women than I am the men. Tammy, Tina, Tessie, Lena, Stephanie.
The difference between the two, you have the Beverly Hills women that they fight with their words. They fight with their words and the lawyers. Gypsies don't do that. As they say, you're no longer a gypsy if you go to the law.
Can't go to the law where I grew up.
You don't go to the law. You handle it within the family. Like, you beat the fuck out of each other. You go into a field, beat the shit out of each other. Do you see why that?
You know,
all
it's
right.
all, or is just for that show? You don't know the history of gypsies.
From what I have seen, because I've watched both are on TLC. I've watched both of them, but it was My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding. They all fight. In gypsy culture, they fight. Beat the fuck out of each other. Go to the field, beat the fuck out of each other, and come back. They make up. You fight it out, you make up. It's like people in toxic relationships, they fuck it out, and then they're fine. That's not the way it should be done, but they don't call the law. That's why one of the episodes that I'm watching,
gypsy culture based on a couple of reality shows, especially one in West Virginia.
I'm just talking about what I know of gypsy culture. There's not many shows that talk about, well, there could be. I don't know. Maybe I need to do more research. But from what I've seen from the shows that I enjoy from TLC.
If she's wrong, don't cancel me. Cancel her. Don't cancel me.
Cancel TLC because they're the ones that wrote and produced the show.
I fully believe it's that way, at least with that family in West Virginia where I grew up. You're more likely to have to deal with it. I know people involved in that. It's like, walking into the wrong place in the city. You walk down the wrong holler and I was good with everybody. No one really bothered me. I didn't bother nobody else, but there was a little bit of that. Say the wrong thing to the wrong person. It's dangerous.
And see, it's kind of like you grew up with the side of the Gypsy Sisters. I grew up and I by no way lived the life of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but the drama aspect, like, you grew up in that drama, like, where it was loud, it was yelling, it was fighting, like, not necessarily in your family.
That's what we did back home. Rowdy.
Everything here was by telephone, texting, MySpace. That's how drama was settled. If shit got real, people fought, but I've never punched anybody. I've never had to fight anyone. I've never wanted to fight anyone.
I never had issues with people because I was a mouthy.
You would throw a chair.
That's not fighting though, right?
That's not that winning at you.
Like I jumped that one time in 7th grade and I was more worried about mom getting mad at me than actually fighting the guy. There was a lot of that growing up. I was around it, but I wasn't involved. Me and my friends were nerdy kids. We didn't mess with anybody. No one messed with us. I was an asshole. I think I brought it up in one of the first episodes. Lindsay Gray, a friend from back home. It was Lindsay Poor in high school and elementary school. Her memory of me was being into the dragon books, the dragonology stuff I used to read. Looking back, I feel like I was an asshole to a lot of people. And I do feel bad. I thought I was being funny, doing it to
Fitting
someone
in.
else before they could do it to me. I've been to therapy now, guys, so I'm a lot better off than I was back then. Hopefully you have continued to grow from high school. I've realized a lot of this. If I ever hurt your feelings or offended you, I do apologize. It depends on what you did to me, really. It's not very stoic of me to not want to apologize, but if you're garbage, I'm not sorry.
If you never did anything to me and I did something to you, I apologize. If you did something to me and I said something back, I do not apologize.
I know I said some mean things growing up, and I feel bad about it. Sometimes I'm saying, man, I remember when I said this thing to that person. They
Yeah.
didn't even seem bothered by it, but it bothers me now that I said it.
I know you know exactly what I'm thinking of. That I've always called you out on.
We're not bringing that up.
Nathan was an ass. He told me numerous times before we started dating, he was an ass to girls because that is how you would get girls. You would be mean. He learned that. It seems like he learned that from Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the
No,
worst
I didn't
television
watch Always
show.
Sunny in Philadelphia like I do now until we got together. I actually fell in love with that show by complete accident.
It's a
What
shit
it
show.
It's a fantastic show because the point is they're shitty people. You get to laugh at them getting their comeuppance. My whole thing about like being an asshole came from the fact that like you see all this alpha male bullshit, girls only want assholes and stuff like that. It's not true. I'll say it right here. I never got laid. I was constantly talking to girls, but I didn't close the deal. Maybe 4% of the girls I've talked to I've actually slept with. I was an asshole. I started being nice to people. And
Probably got you so much further being nice than being an asshole.
not always.
Who'd have
Like,
thunk it?
it depends on what the girl's looking for. Some girls do like it when a guy's a bit of a dick. But it's
That's
just
when
not
I'd
really-
say, pop, punch in the throat.
I
Got me
don't
fucked up.
I didn't like who I was. I'm much happier now. Any guy listening should probably, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Toxic masculinity can fuck off. Being vulnerable and honest about my feelings, compassion, empathy, the things Jesus did. I really love the message of Jesus himself. A lot of the things from him I pulled into my personal philosophy. When Poppy Herman was dying, I used to read Matthew, the parable of the sheep and the lambs. When you did it for the lesser of them, you also did it for me. When you didn't do it for any of them, you didn't do it for me. I like being honest about that. A lot of people do shady stuff, and I don't want to be that person. I didn't feel comfortable until I started being honest about the fact that I just like to be nice.
Yeah.
So it really does bring it full circle where it's like, oh no, I'm not really that asshole.
It all changed with the message to me.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it
used
really
to
did
message the
save
girls, Can
my
I be
soul,
your
I
next
guess.
bad decision? And to me,
Because I thought I was a nice guy. Looking back, I was.
he used to tell the other girls, Can I be your next bad decision? And with me, it's, Can I be your next great decision?
Well, that was the closest thing to love at first sight you can have. It was on
Tinder.
Tinder.
Love at first swipe.
Love at first swipe. I claim responsibility for the bad shit I did, and I hate it. Like, some people they have that ability to say like, please forgive me, but I don't want to. You have the right to hate me if I said mean shit to you. You have the right to be mad. If you don't want to forgive me, that's your journey. If you do,
But at least you're man enough to say, like, I am sorry.
if you're listening to this, I am sorry. I'm probably not going to reach out because I don't like talking to half the people.
But I mean,
9 times out of 10, if I wronged you, it's because I don't want to. But if it's in like little shit, like I'm probably not even going to think about it. If I called you a hoe or something, it doesn't register because that's just the shit I used to do. The point is, we're talking about forgiveness. Admit you've said some wrong shit. Move on and grow as a person. Admit to the past and don't act like you're perfect. Got to try to do better. And it comes from a lot of what I'm reading in Stoicism. And yeah. Oh, there is an alarm going off on the table. Cool. But yeah, so I guess I'm going to move on to my favorite Easter memory. It's in the vein of self-reflection and understanding who you are better. One Easter, and I remember a bunch of little things, but this,
why don't you just click the switch and turn it on silent?
I don't know what it's where I changed phones. But
Still don't know
so
how
for
working.
me, there was one Easter. I was grounded a lot as a child. I was a smart ass. But I was grounded and mom got me my Easter basket. I don't remember what all was in the Easter basket either. I just remember one thing. It was the soundtrack to The Prince of Egypt. That is my favorite Easter memory because I love that soundtrack. That movie in itself was fire, but that soundtrack really, the one song, Look at Your Life Through Heaven's Eyes, actually built a big part into trying to be a better person later on because I was like, dang, Snowball, 10 years before. My mom babied me.
Way too long. I was babied until I went off to college. I wasn't allowed to watch Game of Thrones.
We live in an apartment 20 minutes from her parents' house and she is still babied.
I am an adult.
Her
I'm not
parents
babied.
are Roger and Beth, if you're listening. We know your dad's not going to listen, but Beth, if you're listening, you guys are amazing and I do love you. I just like to pick on her because my mom still babies me to this day. Like she'll do little things. She'll send me, well, she doesn't really send them out as much as she used to, but she like shows up with gifts every once in a while. What's my memory? That soundtrack really, it still holds a special place. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
I feel like I've watched it a couple times, but I know I haven't seen it.
We
In a
may
while.
rent it on Amazon. We get off.
I feel like we can stream it somewhere. Tip has watched it because she knows every word to every song. Recently, she sent me a video of her singing those songs.
I love that. It's a fantastic. It needs to be played soon. It's Easter. That's not Jesus. It's Moses. They don't really have a lot
It's
of
still
stuff.
in the
that
the Bible.
I don't want to watch Passions of the Christ. I get it. The point is to be depressing, but we're on Easter. It's the resurrection. It's the happy day. It's Good Friday would have been the day to watch Passion of the Christ.
It's on
Paramount Plus.
It's on Netflix, the one streaming service we don't have.
We'll check it out on Prime.
It's only $3.99 on Amazon Prime.
Netflix, if you want us to talk positive about you, send us a free subscription. And that I will talk wholly positive about HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu,
Yes.
Peacock, and Paramount Plus because
Ever since Netflix started cracking down password sharing, that was some bullshit.
it sucks
Okay.
you can't share passwords,
Yeah,
but
but
it's their
okay.
content.
Well, that it sucks, but also, okay, for people who have family members who have older family members that they use their accounts because why should they get their own account? They don't know how to set it up in the first place, unfortunately. So, sons, daughters, whatever, have parents, grandparents on their accounts, then they have to pay more because they're doing something considerate. Like Netflix, you already make enough money. You're just price gouging. People are getting it back because they like Netflix. I don't see a point in Netflix. Stranger Things, awesome. Like, I didn't really watch,
I can get it for a month a year, $25, and be caught up.
but you'd have to have a different email every time.
I don't
Yeah,
get
free subscription. Yes, you do.
Use the same subscription and cancel at the end of the month. What about the free month? I'll pay. It's probably like 19 without ads.
Netflix now has ads. Are you kidding me?
You lose subscribers. Talking too much shit about famous.
Oh.
They didn't even do anything to us. Netflix just.
I feel like the only company that we have talked shit about in this episode has been Netflix.
Yeah, we were talking shit about reality TV for a second there. I didn't want to be super negative this episode.
I think we're being super negative. I think we're saying what everybody else is thinking. We're just not afraid to say it. I think it's stupid that Netflix did that dumb shit because all they want to do is make money. They don't care about the people that subscribe. They were like, we lose 10,000 people that don't subscribe because they're cheap. They don't want to pay the money, but the people that kept it actually want to pay the money. No, it's just because the people that kept it like Netflix. I think it's stupid and they're price gouging.
Hulu has it now where if anyone logs into your account, it logs you out. I get wanting people to pay more, but I don't like that they have the content. James is in college, right? Mom and Gary have Netflix. I don't know if James can use Mom and Gary's stuff. It's a whole mess, and it is greed, but that's the United States. That's capital. We can only change it if we change it.
Capitalism really
Everybody's too
popped off
comfortable.
today.
For those listening, we do appreciate you. I think Caitlin's getting tired.
I have to work in the morning. I'm not as bubbly and giggly as I normally am. I am extremely exhausted. It has been a full force, full-fledged, full guns a-blazing emotional weekend, and your girl is tired, and she had a steak for dinner, and so sleep.
Tired. We are advertising the podcast on Facebook. So we do kind of want to get our followers up so we can start making side cash. Hopefully one day this becomes full time. Follow us on Facebook, Sunflower Nightshade for me, and Stout, Instagram, Super Saiyan Stout G, SUPERSAYINSTUT.
Did you forget how to spell your last name?
I forgot if I said it right. I was trying to plug yours in my head. Caitlin, which is _ K8, 8 the number, TLYN.
LYN _.
Facebook, Caitlin St. Clair. For my personal podcast, Nightshade Monologues. It's on the same platforms we're listening on this one, but we're putting this one on. We're also going to switch over to Podbean, actually. So it may get distributed in more places. If you're listening on Spotify, Patreon, and Amazon, most definitely. Because we're on iHeart, but I haven't seen anybody listen on iHeart. So, yeah. Check us out. Give us some love. If you want to join the Patreon, that's $1. I changed the price because times is hard. And I still want to get paid for this. But we get enough of y'all listening. I can pay for Descript and on Podbean and pay for a few Facebook advertisements here and there. It'll eventually get to work. Thank you guys for listening.
Just live and love life, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Toodaloo.
Caitlin. Memento Mori. Memento Mori. Memento Vere. You guys have a great day. We love y'all.